different from how they behaved during the BLM protests there.
We witnessed two systems of justice. When we saw one that let extremists storm the United States Capitol, and another that released tear gas on peaceful protesters last summer.
Well, former Senate Foreign Policy Advisor Jim Jatras says that violence at protests is tolerated only in certain cases.
All along this year, we've been seeing great destruction in our cities in the name of, racial justice and so forth. And there has been there's sort of a deferential attitude toward these riots, like, well, these people are upset because George Floyd and so forth. They have a good cause behind them. And I think what we see in Mr. Biden's remarks is not so much an objection to what happened at the Capitol yesterday, which, by the way, was nowhere near as destructive as what we've been seeing from Black Lives Matter and Antifa all year, but rather to demonize the people themselves, to say that people who question the conduct of this election, that's what's at fault. The cause behind their actions is what's really at fault. And I think one of the things we're going to see is they're going to throw the book at anybody who's ever identified as going into the Capitol here. They're going to be prosecuted. They're going to be thrown in jail for decades, probably, in a way that, no, complete reverse of what Kamala Harris said. This was not done to the people who were burning down America's cities this summer.
I want to be clear in how I characterize this. This is mostly a protest. It is not, generally speaking, unruly.
That ain't a riot, what we're seeing right now in Minneapolis.
They are strictly principled anti-fascists, and they've taken a principled stand to stand against white supremacists and white nationalists wherever they may show up.
I argue to you tonight, all punches are not equal morally.
It says it right in the name, Antifa, anti-fascism, which is what they were there fighting. Listen, there's, no organization is perfect. There was some violence.
Any reasonable person would say we shouldn't be destroying other people's property, but these are not reasonable times.
But thank goodness for the looters, man.
And please, show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
I don't care that much about statues.
Shouldn't that be done by shouldn't that be done by a commission or the city council, not a mob in the middle of the night throwing it into the harbor?
People will do what they do.
What you're seeing behind me is one of multiple locations that have been burning in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Do not get it twisted and think that, oh, this is something that has never happened before, and then this is so terrible, and where are we, and these savages and all of that. This is how this country was started.
People get mad, and people get sick of it. People are risking COVID to explain to this country that we're fed up.
Most of the major movements in American history have started at the grassroots level, and at some point have turned into direct conflict with American government. So remember your history.